Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to see about the research approaches and research design. So, every one of us, we know that during our any kind of master plan, we should have a blueprint of it. So we can have a clear cut correct idea what we want to proceed with, what we want to plan out, what we want to implement. So here research approach and design is going to play a vital role to show us the pathway and show us a clear cut idea with the blueprint that will help us to know what we want to proceed in our research. So whenever we are doing any kind of evidence study or we are going for any finding of new problems and we are trying to approach for the solution for that through our researches, so this will be a correct frame out to deal with. Let's have a look towards it. Research approach and research designs are the term which is used interchangeably, and research approach is one of the biggest elements of the research design. Right, but research design is again the broader plan. We have a substitution, we have a segregation of all that plan to conduct a study. And research approach is a very important element of the research design which governs it. Okay, so it is a governing body. We can say that one of the CEO is standing and the other small authoritative bodies are controlling the minor employees. Okay. Next is a research design is a framework. Okay, so whatever we want to plan out, we should need a frame of it. We should need that it should have a clear cut picture to guide us for further. We should have a map. Example, we should have a map to proceed with our pathway. So same way research design is for the research to be proceeded and for that there is an framework and it should have the guide for planning, implementation, and analysis of study, that is lastly through the data analysis we are going to do. It should be a systemic plan. Very important that it is a systematic plan. Why? Because we are proceeding in a hierarchical way what to be done very fast and what to be done in the next step. So how it will be done, how the data will be analyzed, this is all done with the research design. It also basically provides the outline. So how to carry out a research, how the methods will be used. It will include the description of research approach and dependent and independent variables with that we are very well aware that if it can be manipulated and it cannot be manipulated, these are two types of variables: sampling designs and planning format of data collection, analysis and presentation that we will see in detail in the further slides. Consider the definition of it. It is a master plan which is specifying the methods and procedures for collecting and analyzing the needed information for the research study. And it can be also defined as a blueprint. So we can keep in mind that it is one of the master plan and the second it is a blueprint where it involves the description of the research approach, study setting. Okay, research approach is what we are finding out then in how we have to study. Like for example, I'm interested to study for a longer period of time. I'm studying about the quality of the lifestyle of a person. So it will involve myself in that particular study. But in case I'm studying for a quantifiable, it should be in a numerical form and it will give me a numerical aspect of the study and it will give me some kind of association with the variables. In study setting, where is the place where I want to conduct the study? Sampling. Okay, sampling size. What kind of samples I need on which kind of generation or in which kind of people I want to study. So what should be its attribute? But I should have a limitation of data or I should study on a generalized way or it should be a greater quantity of people. Okay. Next is sampling technique. and tools and methods of collection of data collections. Okay, so all these things have some kind of rules, have some techniques, have some instruments to collect it and to get the answer of it through a numerical form, or it can be in some other form if it is the qualitative research approach. In specific research questions for testing the research hypothesis, we need all these things. Okay, next, research design is the plan. How, when, and where the data is to be collected. So, which we have seen above, that how it will be framed out. When has to be done. So, I have to set up the time where the data are to be collected. That should be my settings from which place I have to collect, which is the study interest area. Then lastly, analyzing what the data was being collected from the tools or the instruments which was being planned. Research design is researcher's overall plan answering the research question. I will carry a small planner in my hand so I can show the whole of the curricula. For example, just to see that in a class, if the haphazard planner is there, so there will be no proper sequences, no systematic curriculum. But we used to create a master rotation plan for the whole year. When for the nursing students we want to keep the clinical posting, when we want to keep the theoretical sessions. So according to that, we have created a planner. So research design is again the same, where the researcher wants to do the study, where to do, when to do, how to do, on which people they want to do. So these all answers and what problem he has with the particular interest area and what findings he wants, what solution he needs, that will be done through the whole research study. What are the elements of research study? Okay, let's see. These are the elements of research design. So, first of all, we see the greatest element, that is the research approach, which is being segregated into qualitative, quantitative, or both, or it can be said as mixed methodology with, without conceptual framework. So most probably we create a conceptual framework in quantitative study. It can be with or it cannot be with. It can be without. Next is how I have to, like, I will see for which population, but before that we want to see that methods of data analysis, how I will do that. So we will see that on what population I am going to conduct my research, what sample I am taking, what is the sampling technique to that I have choose, and then I will create certain tools that will be my instruments. For example, I am just creating a questionnaire that will be provided to my samples, and then they will be with their interest and with their willingness, they will participate and they will provide some of the information. Then my data will be collected. I'm sorry. Time and place of data collection, that is what am I setting and what is the period of study. So this is what the research elements, research designs element, where just go through it again. We'll summarize research approach, which is again segregated in three parts. That is qualitative, quantitative, or mixed. It can be with the conceptual framework or it can be without the conceptual framework. We will find out the methods of data analysis. We will go through, and before that we should have a clear cut picture with on which population I want to study, what will be my sample, from where it could be, sampling technique I have to see to select my samples, tools and methods, that will be my instruments, how I will collect the data. For example, I need to collect the temperature of all the patients. For that I need a device. For example, thermometer is utilized to calculate the temperature of each and every patient of the ward. But again, how the method is, how the data collection is. So I have a clear reading on the thermometer, but it can variate. So I have to verify those tools that it is the standard, or if it is not standard, I have to get it validified. Okay, so we have to again study for the time and place of data collection. The approach, which is involving the description of the plan. to investigate the phenomenon under study in a structural, that is quantitative, unstructured, that will be qualitative, or the combination, that can be the mixed, or it can be said as quantitative and qualitative integrative approach. Therefore, what will the approach will do? It will help us to decide about the presence and absence of manipulation and control over the variables. Fine. So exemplifying that I am going through the quantitative study, and I have to see that I have to calculate the numerical form of data. So in that case, I have to manipulate or control over certain variables. For example, I'm doing any kind of experimental study. So on that variable, we have a manipulation and control. For example, I am giving one of the patients some kind of therapy to relieve the dehydration. I'm giving some kind of fluid. Another group is not been given any kind of experiment, or he is not been the part of my experiment. I'm not providing them any kind of fluid therapy. So in that case, the person who is getting the fluid therapy will come out of the dehydrated state, and he will be able to manage the situation of fluid electrolyte imbalance. But the other person who is in the control state, who is not been given any kind of therapy, will not have any kind of variation in the health, and that might be deteriorated. So we might be calculating this through the intake output chart. So it can be a quantitative form of, or we can have some kind of vitals. If example, like another example we can take, that if the patient is of hypotension and I am giving enough of fluid supplement, so hypotension can be cleared with the fluid generation in the body because the venous return will be quite good. But another patient who is not getting the fluid therapy and he is in the control state will not have any kind of variation in the cardiac or electrical activities. But this has to be observed. I have to see the result of it. How it can be seen? It can be only seen through the vitals that has been monitored on the monitoring devices that has been available in the ward. Next, it is also helping to identify the presence or absence of comparison between the groups. So already I said that it is a comparison study. Many times no control groups, but I can give different types of therapies. One of the person I am giving ORS solution, another person I am giving simple liquid. So the output of the person who has been given ORS therapy, oral rehydration solution, might be good or better than the person who is getting the only generalized fluid. Next is the approach of the research study depends on the several factors, but primarily on the nature of the phenomenon under study. So evidence thing is that it will depend on the situation which it is being carried out. At this stage of research study, conceptual framework may or it not be required. Fine, is that clear? So this is quite a simple thing that how we will deal with the research approach. But next is what we need the population on which I want to study, but I cannot take the whole generalized people. I cannot generalize my study till I cannot approach them. So I have to take some kind of sample. Simple example is I cannot eat over the whole of the food stuff at a moment to means to just take a taste, but I have to take a small quantity and I will just recognize that it is in a proper form or it has been cooked well. So that is just a sample, and sampling technique is what how the technique is there to just select the sample. Okay, next is what research design also provide the research with the directions about the population sample sampling technique which will be used for the research study. If we will have an example like ethnographic is a qualitative study design where the researcher gets the directive that population will be of specific culture. Ethnographic, okay, particular culture has been taken and I am going to study on that. So that study will include only the small sample. So that can be taken by the non-probability sampling technique. I cannot be available with all of the people at a time. So that can be selected to the non-probability sampling. We will see what are the different kinds of other sampling techniques in the other researches. So how we are going to see the other studies are quite different. So let us keep it in mind that non-probability sampling is just a person is not getting an equal chance and someone might get a better chance. So this is what the non-probability sampling is. So in that case, if we are doing any kind of qualitative ethnographical study, so in that case it can be the non-probability sampling technique because some might be participating, some might not be participating, or we can choose in odd or even way that cannot give the equal chance to everyone. So sampling techniques might be different and it is depending on the type of study. Okay, the time, place and sources of data. In time, it will specify the days and months and years of study. Location, we have to find out the setting where we want to study, which is convenient place for me. The source of the requisite data are the other important constituents. Okay, so whatever type of data you require, you prepare the tool and you have to plan very effectively for that to conduct the study because it is the ultimate source through which we can do the data analysis. So these elements of research design involves description of different tools and methods of data collection. Like for example, it can be the interview method, it can be the questionnaire method, that can be through the direct observation. For example, if I am doing that someone is practicing any kind of skill in a proper way, in a systemic way, then we can even have a checklist for that so that the practices are being done well in a correct method, we can find out, or any other method that may suit the particular approach of research as well as nature of phenomenon or under the study. Okay, what are the methods of data analysis? Which is one, that is the research design must include the description of the method of data analysis. So we are seeing that it is a quantifiable study or it is a qualitative study. So what kind of study analysis we have to do, that is depending on the particular approach, that is quantitative or qualitative analysis techniques, which will help the researcher to collect the relevant data. For example, I know that I am going to study a person's culture, how their living style are. And if I am taking any kind of specific cultural group, I want to see that how the Gujarati people have their lifestyle. I have to get involved in them. I have to observe the lifestyle. And that will be only possible if we one person or the researcher is staying in that group and they are observing for the longer duration, because otherwise it can be the manipulative. Just take a very common type of example. If I want to study my one person's behavior, it will be only available if I am staying for a longer period of time. I will be available with the behavior of my friend, but I'm not aware about the person I'm meeting for the first time. For that, that person has to be with me for a longer duration, then only I will be able to study. But it is a kind of qualitative study. I have to find out the attributes of that person. I cannot calculate that behavior. But in kind of quantitative data, I will observe something in a numerical form. I just want to calculate the budget that after enhancing my propaganda or I am propagating about my business well, and I have increased my number of sales in that particular year because I have manufactured different kind of varieties. So that is what how much sales has increased. That is giving me a certain kind of numerical values. So that is what the researcher is finding through the research design plan. Without a formal plan, data analysis will be irrelevant and it will really become difficult to analyze. Now, how to select the research design? So we are all aware about now that research design are the plans and procedures that the research that span the decisions from broad assumption to detailed method of data collection. So first of all, I will find out the assumption. just I will assume that yes, the hypertensive condition is a major problem which is leading to the cardiac failure or it is leading to the brain stroke. Okay, so this is my assumption that the cardiac problem or the stroke for the brain strokes are responsible, means cardiac problems are responsible for that. So, but we have to study in detail and we have to not rely on the assumption. That's why we create a certain kind of hypothesis which can be observed and we can have a correct evaluation for that. In order to meet the aims and objectives of the study, researcher must select the appropriate design. So whenever we are going to plan out, we should have a clear-cut aim and objectives. Then only we can come through the proper values. Research design largely depends on the nature of the research problem, the resources available, like cost, time, expertise of the researcher. Okay, for example, I am a student who is in the science field, but my study was being given from the commerce field or it is from the engineering department. It cannot be relevant for me to study on that because I'm not aware about that. Another thing, I cannot expend more than my pocket. Okay, so I have to see for the cost saving. I have to see that I'm limited with the time. I just do have the 2 months of period to do a research study. Then I have to select a study like that. Then next, I'm studying on the subject who is not available in a particular part. For example, I want to study about the doctors who are working in the COVID. Okay, but they are not available. There is a pandemic condition. All the doctors are busy with their whole treatments and implementation in the hospital areas. They might be in the isolation areas, so they might not be accessible to me. So this is what next I am going to see. And lastly, very important is the ethical consideration. Wherever we are studying, we should have a permit, we should have a consent of that department. If it is not available, that will be a very wrong methodology because the ethical consideration is one of the very important part. Moving ahead, the main factors which are affecting the selection of the research design are: number one, nature of the research problem. Okay, what kind of research I have taken? It can be the selection of research design based on the nature of research problem, like it can be phenomenon. Researcher decide whether it should be investigated through experiment, quasi-experiment or non-experimental research approach. And again, that will be on my interest of area, then it can be due to the accessibility of samples, many more things. Purpose of study. Why I am going to study regarding this? It should have certain kind of prediction. Okay, that I am studying this research, I am doing this research, I want to work on the patients who are suffering from COVID, how they can relieve. I want to work something before to relieve their symptoms. So this is prior of the prediction. Okay, purpose of prediction is description is there. I'm having some exploration. I have seen patients having a high morbidity rate in the COVID, or there should be a correlation of research variable. Therefore, the purpose of research study helps the researcher to choose the suitable research design. Person's knowledge and experience. Prior slide I have talked that I cannot be given an engineer study if I am a medical student. So that should be avoided because I won't have the confidence if I am non medical person or I am non technological person. So I have to be given on the subject which I have expertise. Researchers interest and motivation. If I'm not interested to work in the health sector, I want to work on some technical field, so that should be given the, I should study on the area where the technical needs are there, technical problems are there. Then I cannot go for the medical things. Ethics and principle, definitely. If I want to work in the hospital settings, I want to do some kind of research on the hospitals and the patients, then I should have the authority to just work on them. I should get the consent with the authoritative people of the particular place, because moral obligations are there. We have to respect the participant, even the consent from the department. Then after, you have to take the consent of the participant or the subject who are, you are studying. Okay, that should be an informed consent. Sometimes it can be the language barrier. Whatever consent you are providing, it should be explained in the lay language which the person or the subject is understanding. Without any harm, you have to study. We have to keep the things confidential. So these all things are very important. Subject and participants. Okay, we have to see their availability and accessibility. We have to study them in depth. So we have to involve them with their interest. Okay, resources. Okay, I'm not available with all the resources what I want to study. I want to just go on with the study statement. I'm just going with the theoretical thing. Let's take an example. If I want to give proper treatment regarding the just cardiac problem patient, I'm giving some kind of physiotherapy. Okay, but I'm not having any kind of equipment. I'm just explaining them. I'm just not having the resource like technical things I'm not having available with. So this is just a wastage of time. Even the patient who is suffering with the cardiac problems, they have given the consent, their treatment will be interrupted. So selection will be, design will be interrupted or affected by this. Okay, so I should have the money, equipment, facilities. Okay, I cannot do that in the home place. I have to have a proper setup of the place I want to study. Just take another example. I just want to study on the patients who are undergoing any kind of surgical interventions, and they are developing lots of lack of physical abilities. Okay, so I just want to give them good exercise. I want to develop their confidence. I just want to make them practice some kind of exercises, but only it is available then if I'm having the equipment, then only it is possible. Of course, time. It should not be confined to myself. It should not be confined to a researcher, but it should be confined to the person who is the participant. Okay, both of them. So let's see that time is also the major deciding factor. Example like research needs more time. It is a longitudinal study. Then while cross-sectional studies may be conducted in a short period of time. So the time is significant contributing factor. So we have to see both researcher and the participant's time. Users of the study findings, the research design also various methods of data collection and analysis. While choosing the research design, it should ensure that the research design is appropriate for the user. Study findings are possible on that or not, so that the maximum and advantage and result can be obtained. Possible control on the extraneous variable. Whenever we are practicing something, we get lots of obstacles outside also. So we should have a possible control on that. An efficient design can be maximize the result, decreasing the errors. Because sometimes I am having a class online session, but my extraneous variable means there is lot of noise outside, and I'm not having a proper sitting arrangement, so that is why the noise is interrupting my class, or might be there is no availability of Wi-Fi. So in that case, it is the extraneous variable that is interrupting my sessions. Okay, so if I want to find out that how much the online sessions are effective. So in that case, I have to just rule out about the errors that is been pre-existing and which is impairing my study. So that is what it has been. The maximized effort of the researcher should be maximize control on the variables. Therefore, possible control over the extraneous variable may affect the selection of researcher design. So this is again giving an example that a researcher wants to conduct a true experimental study, but because of inability to control the selected extraneous variable, similar design has to be opted like quasi-experimental or pre-experimental research design. Validity of research design. Well, it's again very important. There is two criteria to evaluate the credibility and dependability of the research result: external and internal validity. What is internal validity? It validates whether the independent variables actually made a difference or not. Okay, so it is the term that is, internal validity refers to the extent to which it is possibly making an interference that the independent variable is truly influencing the dependent variables. Just take an example. If the person with COPD is smoking, COPD patient means he is the dependent and the independent is smoking. Okay, smoking means if it is making a influence on that, he is triggering with the respiratory problems, that is the independent. So it is influencing the dependent variables. Okay. Again, the internal validity, the independent variable is responsible for variation in dependent variables. Okay. So that what they are responsible to make a variation, differentiation in the dependent variable. Internal validity demands a tighter control over the study and to maximize the effectiveness of the result. Okay, it is helpful in making the inference that the independent variable influence the dependent variables. And we have identified that six major extraneous variables have been identified which can jeopardize, means they can danger or it can trap the internal validity. So they are like known as threats to that internal validity. What are they? History, maturation of subject, testing, instrumentation changes, mortality, and the selection bias. Okay, how it can be? Just have a look. The threat of history occurs when some evidence beside the experimental treatment occurs during the course of study. This event can influence the dependent variable. For example, we are conducting a health teaching program on the importance of breast self-examination. While recently a famous film actress is diagnosed to be suffering from breast cancer, it catches the media's attention. Okay, so it can be the history, it can be the medical experts are interviewed, and importance of BSE is supported. All major television channels and newspapers starts reporting on the importance of breast self examination. While we find the breast self examination activities are improved, you as a researcher may not be able to conclude if the change in the behavior is a result of teaching program or it is result of the diagnosis of the affliction of the movie actress and the subsequent media coverage. So we can know that here the person is from the media or the actor who can be the role model for the society, who have lots of followers. They might be diagnosed with particular kind of disorder, but in case if they are being coming in the consideration of the media and they are showing in some kind of film, so we cannot predict that it was because of that person's film or it can be because of what you have implemented for your study. So this is what making the difference by the history. Next is the maturation of the subject. For example, our researcher is practicing on children who are under 5 years of age group, and he or she was calculating about the weight and height. But with the variation of time, it is a qualitative study, for it is a longer period of time. Definitely, the person's height and weight will be changed with the coming period, and the malnourished children may become having a differentiation in the values and the readings of the physical gain. Okay. If it is if this experimental is conducted for very long period of time, it will be really made difficult to change the things. Okay, so there will be lots of changes. That will be a disastrous changes in the study samples, and the subjects will have variations in the reading. Next, we see for the testing. If it is the person is giving up very pre-test, like pre-test. In pre-test, he is just giving a questionnaire to test the person's knowledge regarding something. So he might be aware about the questions and he might be aware about the answer keys also. So he might have a variations. Otherwise, if priorly any kind of teaching has been given, so post-test the scores will be really variating from the previous reading. So that can be an interruption. Many times instrument variation can also variate the studies. It makes differentiation in the readings. For example, if I'm measuring the weight of a particular child with a electronic weighing scale, then it should be continued for the longer period of time and it should be continuously measured with the same instrument. It can variate. So same thing it can happen with the other instruments also, like thermometer, sphygmomanometer, weighing scales, measuring tape, all have to be checking the accuracy at regular intervals and same instruments have to be used throughout that. Okay. Morality. Okay. Morality is again, I'm sorry, mortality is the loss or the dropout of the study subject during the course of study if the subject who remains in the study or join later on, then again it is very difficult, later are not similar to those who dropped out, the result could be affected. So because of dropout of the subjects, it can be having a variation in the result. Because if for the first round in longitudinal study, I'm available with the 5 years under children, and in second round, if I'm going to study again for their malnutrition, the second time they are not available. In that case, again, it will make a differentiation in the study. Next is the selection bias. We have that randomly studied participants can be observed anytime, but if they are not randomly selected and selected from the known group, then again there will be no equivalent result and there will be a different aspect. The effect of dependent variable may be due to some other factors. Example, if two different classes are used to test the effect of two types of lecture methods, if the subject of the selected are non-random way, the effect on the dependent variable could be because of other heterogeneous factors rather than the types of lecture methods. So it can again variate if the subjects are not selected randomly for the participation in the group. External validity. Next, it was above we have all studied what it was, how the threat was on the internal validity. In external validity, what are the things which is again affecting the result can be generalized to large population. In external validity, researcher under what conditions and in which type of subject the same result can be expected to be replicated, or whether the same interventional work will work in another setting. For example, I'm studying on a nurses on PHC group. Okay, so with a different subject, it might be not the similar one, but I can see that if the samples are again the nurses only or of this other PHC, it can be similar. So I can replicate the things. External validity explore the generalization. So I have seen that in a particular primary health center, the nurses have a moderate level of knowledge on certain aspects. So another PHC will have the similar kind of knowledge that will be again the moderate level. So we can say that external validity explore for the generalization. We can check the results outcome with the same in the other setting also. But the factors that can affect it are Hawthorne effect, experimental effect, non-reactive effect of pretest, novelty effect, people, place, time. So let's study one by one. So first is Hawthorne effect is we are doing some kind of research study or experimenting, but not experimenting, but we are observing a patient's or a person's behavior. So that person might be aware that they are observing me. So definitely they will try to discipline themselves. Well, just take a simple illustration for if I'm studying about the teachers of primary schools and suddenly I'm investigating, but the other teachers who is aware that the researcher is investigating our behavior in the class, how we are behaving with the students, they will become alert and there will be a differentiation in the behavior. Next is experimental effect. In experimental, again, there can be a change in behavior of the researcher, or it can be depend upon the attributes. It can be depending on the appearance of a person. It can be the gender difference of the researcher. So, particular researcher's attributes will affect on the person or the respondent. Okay, so for example, just a very simple illustration is there in marketing field. The male people are not being responded that gently that which was being responded gentle and in disciplined manner with the female researchers or female people of the marketing. So this is what which is making an experimental effect. Next is a reactive effect of pre-test. Okay, before I'm giving health education to particular person, just take an instance that I'm just assessing the knowledge regarding the health awareness of the person regarding COVID. Okay, so simply I'm just taking the samples and I'm making them educate, but the other people who are aware that they might come to us and they will try to grab out something, they will try to learn out by themselves to give some kind of impression on the researcher or the person who is coming. Even we can see in the classes. Okay, just another very simple instances. We are studying in we are making the group study, okay, for the class. Okay, so one group is getting kind of teaching from the teacher, but another group gets conscious that the teacher will come to us and they will also ask us the same thing. They will pre-analyze our things. That is making them conscious and they'll try to search from the Google or something and they will try to manipulate their learning. So that they are pre-learning from their own and that will again give an different effect. Next is novelty effect. What it is, once the treatment is very new to the person. Okay, just take, just we can regret this example. We can go for any technological example. Once I am using iPhone, okay, it's newer for me. So I will be excited to use that. But once it is familiar to me, I'm not that much excited. I will try to get an other generation mobile on the spot. So same thing happens in treatment also. The subject of the researcher might behave very nicely when it is something new, but when he is very familiar with the situation, now and then researchers are coming for the same thing, that will again give a very different kind of readings. Okay, so this is what the novelty effect is. So that is why we have to see that novelty wears off and result might differ. So we have to work on that and it can be differ time to time. Well, next will be the people. If I'm studying on a particular race, for example, on white people, I'm studying about the coronary arterial disease. Okay, compared to the blacks. Okay, so if I'm trying to generalize according to this, it is not possible because both of the race have a different reading. So it cannot be generalized. It cannot be applicable for the other people. So it will be set to the external validity. Okay. In next, place. Regarding a place, if the person just taken a very good example of people who are staying on heights, they are staying on altitudes, their hemoglobin levels will be high. It is not because it is very good, but because they are living on the altitudes, there will be more requirement of oxygen, and due to that, our body will be struggling to create more RBC so we can get enough of oxygen supply. Simultaneously, on the other hand, the person who is living in the lower plains, they will be having lack of, I'm sorry, they will be not having that requirement of oxygen which the high altitude people. So their RBCs will be comparatively low. So this again cannot be generalized. It is not applicable for whole of the generalized people. It is not overall. We cannot read on the whole of the population. Next is about the time. If I'm carrying decade back a study and I'm trying to generalize it with today's, we are studied that now the technologies are variating from the past decades. So it is cannot be generalized because time has changed, environment has changed, technologies have changed, lots of development has been there, lots of pros and cons are there. So it is not the proper period that we can study or we can generalize for the periods that were being studied before. Okay, so we have to study again the other study in a similar